Hello viewers, my name is Frank and I'm here with Samson. Today we are going to explain to you the SI motivation question which has been released for the 2023 to 2024 section of the SI scholarship. And the question is that you're supposed to choose one of the UN Sustainable Development Goals, SDG, and describe how your professional position and or engagement in a network or civil society organization relates to that goal. And you have been told that you're supposed to write at least one character, but you're not supposed to get more than 1,000 characters. This is a very critical instruction that you must adhere to. Now, when we say characters, now remember that characters are not the same as words. For example, the word infrastructure is one word, but has 14 characters. So characters are basically, it could be letters, it could be symbols, spaces are even characters, and you're supposed to know all this in order to put up a very perfect or successful SI motivation. So let's digest this question. Now, you are supposed to choose one of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Please ensure that you choose one. You're not supposed to two, but one. And you describe how your professional position and engagement in a network or civil society organization relate to that goal. Now, these are the UN Sustainable Development from goal number 1 to goal number 17. Okay, so the question is that, what is your professional position? Okay, when we say professional position, we mean that your position as an employee in which you have gained a high degree of knowledge and skills through your bachelor or any form of degree that you have. And so your professional position, actually, it's your work position. And this position can either relate to your bachelor degree or not in relation to your bachelor degree. So far as you have a professional position, it can be in the form of a teacher, a head teacher, headmaster, school principal, or proprietor. So if you're a teacher, basically one of the closest UN Sustainable Development Goal you may contribute to is the goal number 4, which is quality education. Okay, now if you are a nurse, a doctor, or medical lab scientist, then you are likely, in one way or the other, if not fully, then you are rather contributing to UN Sustainable Development Goal number 3, which is good health and well-being. Now, if you're an engineer, you could be a civil engineer, you could be a mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, then you are likely to contribute to goal number 9, which is industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Now, somebody can be an electrical engineer in terms of energy related. So in that case, you can contribute to both industry or can contribute to clean energy and affordable energy as well. So in terms of the SI motivation, when we talk of professional position, then we mean your work position or your leadership position that you hold currently in your workplace. Now, one thing you must also know about is the network or civil society organization. So network or civil society organization can either be a union, so it could be one of the unions you belong to, unions or associations. So for example, if you're a teacher, probably you have a teacher union. If you're a nurse, probably you have, a nursing union within your workplace. Now, civil society organization or network could also be in the form of a non-governmental organization or NGOs. And this network, which is in the form of unions or NGOs or any other form, probably has vision and missions. And these visions and missions normally contribute to any of the UN development goals. So for example, if it is a teacher union or association, then you are likely more or less to contribute to quality education in terms of the UN development goal. If it is a union, if it is a health union or a medical related union, then you are contributing to good health and well-being, which is one of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Now, let's come back to the question again. Now, the question is that choose one of the UN Sustainable Development Goals and describe how your professional position and or engagement in a network or civil society organization relates to that goal. Now, first of all, you need to ask yourself, what is your professional position? Now, this question, you are either using your professional position to answer the question, or you are using your engagement in network or civil society organization to answer the question, or you are using both your professional position and engagement in network or civil society organization to answer the question. So it is up to you whether to use your professional position only or to use engagement in network or civil society organization only, or to use both professional position and engagement in network or civil society organization to answer the question. But first of all, you need to choose one of the UN Sustainable Development Goals, and you relate it to your professional position or engagement in network or both. So there are certain mistakes we need to avoid here. Let's look at this one. Mistakes to avoid in SI Motivation 2023 to 2024. Now, these are based on my personal understanding and personal views. Okay, so now, one of the mistakes you need to avoid is that you need not to choose two UN Sustainable Development Goals. You need to choose only one UN Sustainable Development Goal. Number two, you can base your answer using your professional position only. Number three, you can base your answer using your network or civil society organization only. Number four, you can base your answer using both professional position and network or civil society organization to answer the question. Now, if you are using both professional position and network or civil society organization in answering the question, now, these two, the activity you played in these two staffs, those activities must relate to the UN Sustainable Development Goal you have chosen. So let's look at a sample answer I have put up based on my understanding. You may have better way of addressing it, but this is my personal view in terms so far as this question is concerned. Sorry. Now, for example, if my professional position is a teacher, my UN SDG is probably quality education. It could be in terms of any other SDG. For example, it could be climate action, because if you are, for example, if you're a teacher who actually teaches, for example, environmental science, then one way or the other, you might have contributed to climate action in terms of certain advocacies you have made to make an impact on the environment. So my position as a teacher and the SDG goal I've chosen is quality education. So this is how, for example, I can put up my motivation answer. Now, in my position as science teacher, I have been contributing to quality education for the past 3 years. I have been mapping challenges together and finding suitable learning materials for my students and realizing the philosophy of no one left behind. To further enhance the academic standards of my students, I established and implemented peer learning and modified teaching practices. To ensure students understood the basic courses in science, I provide students the opportunity to give feedback on what they have learned. And this is aimed at ensuring that students remember what they were taught in previous learning. As part of my profession, I provide my students instructional strategies and methods of collecting, organizing, and critically reflecting on data and research to determine best options for action. I adopt inquiry, systems thinking, and other tools for student engagement to link curriculum and local issues, leading to action projects that relate to quality education. This extends learning, develops hands-on skills, provides valuable life experiences to students. Now, what can we make up of this answer to the SI motivation? What we can make up of this is that, first of all, the person knows his professional position, which is a teacher. Secondly, the person knows the UN SDG that he has contributed, that is quality education. So, now, moreover, the person has been able to describe how his teaching profession relates to the UN SDG, which is quality education, and the person has given a description to it. So you choose your professional position first. You choose the UN development goal that you have contributed. Then you describe how both the professional position and the UN development goal relate. Now, in this case, the person decided to choose the professional position. In some other cases, the person can choose both the professional position and engagement in network, which could be his engagement in teacher unions, also contributed to quality education as well. Now, in the next example, which will be provided by Samson, he's actually going to explain the relationship between a professional position and engagement in network and civil society organization in relationship to the UN development goal. So Samson, can you hear me? You can explain the second answer and how it relates to the chosen SDG.
Thank you for the opportunity given to me for to explain this part of the sustainable development goal in association with the professional position. As a matter of fact, the motivation letter has been changed as it has already talked about. And then here, what I'm going to talk about here is those who have profession in the health sector. For example, if you have a position in the public health NEF or any position that you may have in the health sector, this example will actually help you to write a reasonable motivation for this SI scholarship. So with this example here, we can see that the writer started with something like, my role as a public health nurse is to promote public awareness. In my capacity, I focus on helping underserved and at-risk individuals gain access to the care they need. I have been adapting evidence-based care and education to help prevent disease and reduce health risks at the population level. And this has made a significant impact on good health and well-being, which is the SDG number 3. As a health practitioner, the good health and the well-being of the people is my main priority. Over the last 3 years of my professional position, the number of childhood deaths has been on a decline in my SSS hospital, which proves that it is possible to win the fight against almost every disease. As a volunteer member of SSS Network, I committed my time and resources to providing health education on COVID-19 pandemic, and when it was on the rise in 2020. And so in that process to ensure the pandemic gets out of the world, the advocacy for proper care and hygiene among indigents on the part of the role I played in this network, I involved myself as a registered member, have affected so many lives in terms of awareness, creation on prevention mechanism of tuberculosis and cardiovascular diseases. Now, if you digest this particular sample, you may see that the writer actually talk about what he has or she has used his position to affect people, and then in which are in line with the sustainable development goal. All that he talk about the adapting the evidence base of the education on help to help prevent diseases and reduce health risks. This one is actually trying to link this one to good health and also a well-being. So this is for the kind of work that the person does, maybe the workplace, let me put it that way, as a public health nurse. And also he has or she has joined. So Frank explained to what kind of network or the civil organization that we are talking about. We know that in the health sector, they also have health associations, and then the person also related these ones to that network or the association. On this particular line, he stated that as a volunteer member of SSN Network, so let's say you can name a particular association, maybe, for example, a general nursing association, or best which one that you normally have. And he said, I committed my time and resources to providing health education on COVID-19 pandemic. But
So,
I remember that
so
when
Samson,
yeah.
So Samson, so it means that this person, if I got you well, it means that this particular answer, what the person did was she connected both her professional position and her engagement in network together, right?
Yes, of course.
So in that connection, she related both professional position and the activity
Involvement in the network,
in the network together, right?
Yes.
To answer the question. So unlike the first answer here, the person was actually a teacher, and he only linked his professional position to that of the UN development goal. So meaning, based on the question, you can use only your professional position, you can use only your engagement in network, or you can connect both. And in connecting both, they must link to a single UN development goal, right?
Sure.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so what can we say of this?
So what we can actually say is that if you are writing your motivation, as you have said, you can decide to just choose one. But choosing the sustainable development goal should be only one. But you can just use your position at your workplace to talk about that. But I suggest that it will be more advantage if you can link the work and also the network together. That would be very advantage for you if you can do it that way. So I suggest that as you are writing, you must try as much as practicable to link. That is my view, to link these two, but make sure they all go in line with only one sustainable development goal.
Okay, so that means that you did not relate your activities you have played to more than one. You need not. You're supposed to choose only one and not more than one, and relate your activities based on your professional position or network or both to the SDG goal.
That is perfect. Otherwise, you'll be disqualified because that about two.
Okay. All right. So a recap. One must ensure that as being stated in the motivation question, choose one UN Sustainable Development Goal. Then after choosing one Sustainable Development Goal, you can relate it to your professional position, or you can relate it to the network or civil society organization about the role you have played, or you can relate it to both your professional position, network, or civil society organization. So based on our own understanding, if you are using your profession, if you are going by the last number, that is basing your answer on both professional position and network or civil society organization. If you are going by this, you need not to relate your professional position to, for example, let's say, quality education, and relate your network or civil society organization, the role you have played there, to, let's say, climate action. That could be an error. You need to ensure that both relate to one UN Development Sustainable Goal, right? Okay. So, all right. This is just a brief for you. We will come again with other motivating videos and explanation to some of the things you may, in one way or the other, not understand. Samson, thank you for giving us a very insightful understanding on the part of the SI motivation. All right. That's all for now. Bye.